And let's open it up. Try that. And all right. So we have the Meet 2. Look at that. Whoa. All right. This is tiny. Holy crap. Wow. Look at this. I honestly don't know how they got this 4K cam so tiny.
Nomaditsu.
So as a digital nomad, when I'm looking for new gear, I'm making sure that it's compact, lightweight, and powerful. And when I got the Insta360 Link 2C a while back, I thought I got the ultimate 4K AI-powered minimal webcam. But that was until OBSBOT sent me this little powerhouse, which is the Meet 2. And I just received this. They sent it to me for review, and I'm really curious to see how it stacks up against the Insta360 Link 2. So we're going to find out which is going to be the ultimate in tiny AI-powered webcam goodness. So let's dive in. All right, guys, we got the OBSBOT 4K Meet 2, as you can see here. And this is just a quick look at the box. We got the Meet 2 privacy cover, magnetic mount. All right, so that is the box. Now let's get it open. I'm gonna use my Swiss card here and let's open it up. Try that. And all right, so we have the Meet 2. Look at that. Whoa. All right. This is tiny. Holy crap. Wow. Look at this. I honestly don't know how they got this 4K cam so tiny. All right. And then we also have this magnetic mount. See if we had to take off anything here. Okay. So how does this work? So it just snaps on there. And let's see if we have anything else in here. Okay, so we have this magnetic cover. Just snaps on like that. And what else do we have? Oh no, it's okay, it's USB-C. All right, that's good. So that's the contents. Alright guys, we have a comparison here with the Insta360 Link 2C and we have the OBSBOT Meet 2. And look at this. Look how freaking tiny the Meet 2 is. This is crazy. 4K webcams at this size, just wouldn't have imagined it. And okay, so what I'm noticing is this one is definitely lighter. It feels lighter. This one feels more heavy duty. And this one feels a little bit plasticky, but this one's also plasticky. I think it's just the finish, maybe. This one just feels more durable for some reason, the Link 2C. But this one's also durable. It's just, I think the extra weight actually makes this feel a little bit higher quality. And this one has a metal grill over here for the mic or the microphones. And here the microphones are in these two dots. So yeah, this is just a little view of the Insta360 versus OBSBOT Meet 2. Here we go. And this is just with their mounts. So the mount here, definitely bigger on the Link 2C, and it's also metal. I also want to show you what it looks like with their lens cover on. So lens cover, that's how you put the lens cover on, and this is how you put the lens cover on here, and it's magnetic. So yeah, just something to note there with the lens covers. So I just wanted to capture some thoughts on the design first impressions. So on one hand, the Link 2C feels like it's higher quality just because of the weight. I think it's the extra weight. But at the same time, the weight could be perceived as a downside because of it is heavier. But it also gives the feeling that it is more durable. What's obvious is that the OBSBOT is much smaller and therefore much lighter. And so the OBSBOT wins in terms of size, right? If you look at this, it is just absolutely tiny. Where the Insta360 wins is it has this metal grill over here for the speakers, and it just feels higher quality for some reason. And then also the lens cover is not built in. So I would say that with the lens cover feature, the Insta360 wins here for convenience because I wouldn't want to lose the OBSBOT magnetic cover, and it adds a little bit of, you have to remember where you put that. You don't want to lose this thing. So I would say overall, I am liking the Insta360's design just for my own use case where I don't want to lose the lens cover and I don't mind sacrificing the extra space for that. But if you were trying to go super minimalist, it's kind of impossible to beat the OBSBOT Meet 2. It's just ridiculously small. So that's just a quick head-to-head for the design. Okay guys, so now I want to show you the mounting situation. This is my setup here. Okay, so I have the webcams mounted, as you can see here. That's how they look sitting on top of the Mac. You can see the differences here. The Meet 2 is a little taller, and the Insta360 is a little shorter but wider. And this is what it looks like. Yeah, mounted up. Now let's get it set up. To get this set up, we're going to go to obsbot.com and download. We're going to hit OBSBOT Meet 2, and I'm going to install both of these, the firmware and the OBSBOT Center. So let's go ahead and download that. Okay, so I installed the OBSBOT Center, and we're going to choose landscape. I forgot that you could actually do portrait mode, so that's pretty cool. So let's hit landscape. And now I'm going to resume this and let's see what's happening here. Okay, so now let's update the firmware. First thing you got to do, of course. So we're downloading the firmware here. Okay, so we have here upgrade tips. It's installing. Do not disconnect the device. Please make sure you close all applications that may use the device. Okay, so I'm gonna close some other things right now. I closed the other apps and hopefully everything goes smoothly. Okay, so it looks like the firmware is successfully installed. Now let's see what happens. All right, so I don't know what this is. Okay, so looks like they communicate their updates through the app. So let's close that. And now let's see how we can do this. Image. Okay, so now this is the raw image that just came out of the OBSBOT. And it looks like it's defaulting to 1080p, which is fine. All right, let's see if I could get this set up. I'll try 4K. Okay, hardware encoding, yep. Okay, so first snag, I couldn't create an account or log in using this Google login. So that's a bit concerning. These are the controls here. All right, I just spent a few minutes playing around with these controls and trying to figure them out. Okay, so this is the flip mode here. My first impression is that this is not as intuitive as the Insta360 software. I had to go through this a lot and I didn't know what these buttons are, but if you want to know what they are, just hover over them and they will tell you what they do. And then, so let's see if there's a bokeh mode here. That's what I'm looking for. Okay guys, I had to do some research with Perplexity to figure out how to turn on the background blur. And to do that, you have to go into this beauty mode and it opens up this window. And then here we can enable bokeh. And let's turn up the bokeh. And it looks like, yeah, it's enabled the bokeh mode. Looks pretty good. And it's a little stuttering. It's kind of stuttering on my machine right now. So I'm going to turn this to 1080 just to improve the speed. So there we go. All right. Okay, that's what I wanted. And then let's see, retouch, filters. Okay, so we have some filters here. Let's do this here. And now I only turn this to 1080 because my Mac is pretty old. It's an M1 from 2020 MacBook Air. So I had to turn this down because the processing was making the image stutter. And I had the same problem with Insta360 Go Link 2. So that's not a problem here. Now let's try the different filters. So we have nature. We have fresh, clear, crystal, film, sheer, pure, black and white, soda. So I think I like nature right now. Yeah, I'm liking nature. Just some thoughts on the software here is that it's not as intuitive as the Insta360 Link 2 software. So I'm going to try to bring that up right now so you can compare. So as you can see here, the Insta360 Link 2C software here, it's way more intuitive because it's just one panel and then it's well labeled over here. So I know what each of these controls do. So I have to say that the software is much more intuitive on the Insta360 Link software. Okay, so I just wanted to show you the raw image coming out of each camera. So I turned off all the filters, I turned off the bokeh, and so this is what the images look like raw. So we have the MacBook Air below here, we have the OBSBOT, and we have the Link 2C here. So yeah, I'm liking the actual natural video coming out of OBSBOT looks really good. I think that one looks more natural than the Link 2C. And of course, both of these webcams are better than the MacBook Air. So yeah, I think the raw image that's coming straight into the OBSBOT is actually slightly better and more natural than the Link 2C. But then when I turn on all of my filters on each of the cameras, I kind of like the Link 2C better. So let me flip those on right now. Okay, so now this is with the settings pushed to their max on each of the cameras. So I have the filters built into Mac applied to my webcam down here. I have the OBSBOT bokeh effects and the filter on here. And I have my bokeh effect and filters on the Link 2C. So yeah, I think the OBSBOT has a really nice natural look straight out of the camera. It also has a very strong bokeh effect, but it does get a little wonky with the fingers here. And Link 2C is just, I think it has a really great picture once you've applied all the filters, and it was just easier for me to get it to the exact setting that I wanted for the Link 2C. So that is the picture review. Now I want to try out the AI gesture control features. So for that, I'm going to look for it here. Okay, so let's enable auto framing, and I'm going to do Let's see what close-up does. Okay, so I don't know why there's two settings for auto framing, but I'll turn on auto framing here as well. So let's do close-up and let's see what happens. So I'll do, all right, so the light is purple and I'm gonna try to go out of frame and you could see it's just changing and following me around, right? So now let's try upper body. Let's see how far I could go here. Let's see. Okay. So it's following me around. It's a lot better when I'm standing kind of far. And okay, so yeah, it's a lot better. It's a lot more responsive when you are kind of far from the camera, but that's a taste of the auto framing feature. Okay, so now this is a audio test for the OBSBOT Meet 2, and I'm just showing you my settings here. So I have audio set to microphone status during sleep, so that just makes sure that the light shows on the webcam while the mic is in use. And then I have noise reduction up to strong because I have a loud air conditioner in this room. We're going to see if you could hear that or not right now. And automatic gain control, so that's boosting the volume of the microphone. And disable microphone, nope. And radio distance. So I'm guessing that means the proximity of me to the microphone. And I put it as standard because I feel like I'm a medium distance away from the mic. I'm not super close to the screen right now. So yeah, let me know what you think of the audio for this in the comments. And for comparison, this is the audio from the Link 2C. So yeah, compare how this sounds to the OBSBOT. Can you hear the air conditioning in this clip or that other clip for the OBSBOT? Let me know in the comments below. All right, so I just wanted to show you how the vertical video mode works, and it's a lot easier than I thought. I'm going to show you that all you have to do is literally just take it off the mount and flip it like that. And now you just have to go into the software and press this button and you have video in vertical video mode now. It's really quite easy and you could do it with the existing mount. This is an advantage that the Insta360 Link 2C cannot do because you need to put it on a tripod to turn it into vertical mode. So that's one thing to note. It's very easy to switch to a vertical video mode in the OBSBOT. All right, guys, so we had the OBSBOT Meet 2 face off against the Insta360 Link 2C. And now I want to do a rundown of all the categories and how they stack up against each other and see who comes out on top. All right, so we have, starting with price, OBSBOT with a 129 MSRP versus 159.99 for the Insta360 Link 2C, and OBSBOT wins the price round. Now for compactness, you saw that Meet 2 is just insanely small and it actually beats out the Insta360 Link 2C. Unbelievable, but it's the winner. Okay, and now next we have design. And now this is subjective. I think they both have great design, but I have a slight edge to the Insta360 Link 2C just because for me personally, I like having the shutter built in to the camera. And I just like the overall form factor of the Link 2C, even though it's slightly bigger. Now for materials, I have Insta360 with a slight edge. The materials feel a bit more expensive and durable. They feel a bit heavier, so it does add some weight, but I just like the feel of it. And for the mount, it is metal versus plastic for the OBSBOT. OBSBOT Meet 2. Now for durability, I think they both win out here. They're both very durable. I think they are a tie for durability here. Now for raw image, I prefer the OBSBOT Meet 2 when, just plugging it in and getting that raw image. I think the Meet 2 actually beats out on that aspect. Now for the AI processed image, when you add your filters and all that, I prefer the Insta360 Link 2C because just you saw with the bokeh effect, it just had better effects there. And personally, I just like the image how it is after I've applied all of the filters. Now for the audio, I found that the raw audio for the OBSBOT was better in terms of not needing to boost the audio, not needing to have some extra processing on the audio. If you didn't have a extra software to boost the audio, then it's going to sound a little bit quieter in my experience on the Insta360. But if you're going to put it into an editor, then that'll solve a lot of your problems. But if you are just using the audio from the webcam, I'd say that OBSBOT Meet 2 wins out there. Now for initial setup, the OBSBOT Meet 2 actually just worked right out of the gate. I didn't even have to install the software and I didn't even have to update the firmware. It just started working immediately. So the initial setup was easier with OBSBOT Meet 2. Now for the overall software intuitiveness, definitely I have to go with the Insta360 Link 2C. It just felt a lot easier to do and the labeling of all the different features was a lot more intuitive and easier to understand. Now for AI tracking, I think they both did a great job for AI tracking, so it's a tie there. For the AI zoom, I actually prefer the OBSBOT Meet 2 because it's more reliable. Although it doesn't do the granular zooming, I actually prefer just do the L shape with your hand and then it automatically zooms in and then do it again and it zooms out. It just feels more intuitive than doing mixing in, raising and lowering the L shape with your hand. It just wasn't as intuitive for me for the Link 2C. Now for the lens cover, I definitely prefer the Insta360 Link 2C built in just because I lose things easily. So I like having it built in, but it's just as simple to put the magnetic cover onto the OBSBOT Meet 2. For vertical video, definitely the winner is OBSBOT Meet 2 because you saw it, you just have to tilt it and then hit the rotate button on the software and you have vertical video. And that is a lot more intuitive in my experience compared to the Insta360 Link 2C. And now for the finale, what is my overall recommendation? Well, to put it all in perspective, I think that the OBSBOT Meet 2 and the Insta360 Link 2C, they are amazing deals for their price points. They are just perfectly priced for exactly what they deliver. So I think that they deliver an amazing value at their price points. For me personally, if I really had to choose and I had the extra budget, I would suggest going for the Link 2C just because it's a little bit more intuitive for the software and just a little benefit for having the privacy cover built in and just that little bit more of a premium feel. But if you want the more minimalist option and you want to stay in that $129 price range, definitely the OBSBOT Meet 2 will fit the bill. So guys, we are in the golden age of AI powered webcams. To get a 4K image from a tiny package like this at this price point was unheard of just a few years ago, just last year even. So that's my conclusion, guys. Both are amazing webcams. It depends really on your price point. If you want to stay in the $129 price range and you want the most minimal camera, I would go with the OBSBOT Meet 2. If you want to go a little bit higher range and get a bit more premium features, I would go with the Insta360 Link 2C. If you found that helpful, I would appreciate it if you gave me a like, a subscribe, shared it with a friend, and that's it for today. I'll see you in the next one.
Nomaditsu.